Okay, now to introduce our next distinguished alumna, Jenny Lewallen, I invite a Board of Trustees member of Weatherford College and a Distinguished Alumna Award winner from 2012. Please welcome Elaine Carter.
Jenny Lewallen was born and raised in Parker County. She is the 5th generation of her maternal descendants and 4th generation of her paternal lineage to be born and raised in Parker County. Ask Jenny anything about Parker County or Weatherford College, and she will respond with great honor and exhilaration. As Texans, we are told we have an accent by the folks up north. So, with short conversation such as Jenny has, and you know she's so shy that she never speaks first. Well, one day we were in a restaurant and the gentleman said, "So, what part of Texas are you from?" Jenny very proudly said, "I am from Parker County, Weatherford, Texas, and that's where we both grow the best watermelons and peaches in the world." Kind of embarrassed the guy, put him in his place. Jenny is the daughter of Charles T. and Jean Morris. She is the wife of Milton Lewallen, mother of Jason Lewallen and Shelley Lewallen Staten. She has 3 beautiful grandchildren, aged 10, 13, and 15. And her strong family ties are not only to Parker County, but Weatherford College as well. Her mother, Jean Morris, who you just met from 1941, who is also a graduate from Weatherford. She had a brother that graduated from here, Richard Morris, and also an alumni. Yes, he was an alumni, and as well her uncle Charles McAnally, which was a past board member. So follow those folks. She is an athlete through and through. She was on the Weatherford College women's basketball team from 1968 until her graduation from Weatherford College in 1970. Although women's basketball was already in place at Old Main, her team was the first team to play in the now Betty Jo Crum Graber Athletic Center by Coach Crum. Jenny was awarded a half scholarship specifically to pay for just her books. She, like many others that go to school, had to work after school, after basketball practice, after games, and who all knows what else, picking cotton maybe, to finish out her college. I'm really harassing her because she's a personal friend, so, you know, I have to take advantage of the opportunity. After graduating from Weatherford College, she and her husband became entrepreneurs and established the first cab service in Weatherford. They owned and operated the business successfully from 1970 to 1976. Not only was she partnering with Milton to build their private business, she overlapped her career by working for Brazos River Gas Company from 1969 to 1973. In 1972, she became a working mother, attending part-time to her private business, plus remained at the gas company for another year. She began working for the United States Postal Service in 1975 as a substitute rural carrier. In 1978, Jenny's career developed into a full-time rural carrier, and after the retirement of her dad, she was granted the rural route that he previously carried for 20 years. She is a hometown girl through and through. She has been to many places, but she always comes back to Weatherford. During her career at USPS, she served as a state and national level union representatives for the NRLCA. She'll have to tell you what all that means. Jenny also did extensive training for both the union and the USPS around the country. She also served on 2 separate committees at the national level. One being joint training with the USPS and the union to improve workplace environment, and the second committee was to develop training for the union representatives across the country. She has been a member of Beta Sigma Phi since 1978. She is involved in numerous charity organizations, including MANA, Friends of the Library, the Summer Reading Program for WISD. She coached the first soccer teams, I believe you said, when they become popular in Weatherford. She also coached youth basketball in the early 80s. She was active in the Weatherford Volunteer Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary, including competing in pumper races, funding fundraisers, and supporting the firefighters at active fires. She worked on a committee for the city in the early 80s to enhance local adult sports facilities, which included the efforts to bring a YMCA to Weatherford. She has done a lot. She's been a busy little girl. So with no further ado, I'm going to let Jenny take over the stand.
Thank you very much, Elaine. Yeah, we have a lot of history together, the two of us and our husbands, so there'll be a lot of stories we could both tell. I'm very honored and very humbled to receive this award. Weatherford College has always had a special place in my heart, as well as a lot of great memories. But I do want to mention earlier, my 13-year-old grandson was very impressed that I was in the same group with Jake Arrieta. He knew him. He didn't care about me, but he knew him. He was quite impressed with that. I've had a connection to Weatherford College even before I attended, as we've spoken several times now. My mother graduated in 1941, and my older brother graduated in 1964, and he also played basketball here. And my uncle, Charles McAnally, was on the board for several years. In the fall of '68, when I started, our freshman class was the first class to attend on the campus on the hill. So I never attended Old Main. My brother did go down there, but I got to open this campus up here. And at that time, this was kind of out in the country. And one thing has never changed. The wind still blows 100 miles an hour on top of this building. It always has, and I guess it always will. But this seemed like a very huge facility to this small town girl from Mill South. We thought we'd really gone to High Cotton when we came. We thought we'd really gone off to college when we came to Weatherford. But I was lucky enough to be able to live at home and do that. I was fortunate enough to be able to continue playing basketball when I got here under Coach Crum. And she's in the building, and I swear she doesn't look a day older than she did the day I played ball under 47 years ago. So I don't know what's going on there. I need some of that, whatever it is she has. But we have a lot of great memories from the basketball program. Again, the basketball program was really beginning to take off. I mean, they'd always had basketball here, but they were beginning to give scholarships. We competed in larger tournaments and things of that nature. Of course, several years later, they were at the NCJC national championships. But I felt like kind of got in on the ground floor of that and got to start helping it grow. This was before Title IX, y'all remember, so women's sports was just beginning to grow. And at that time, most of our players were from our county schools in the very surrounding area. So a lot of us were arch rivals the spring before, and then the next fall we became teammates and best friends, and I developed some really good friendships on that basketball team during that year. I promised Coach Crum earlier that I wouldn't tell a lot of tales about some of our ball trips, but we didn't have a bus then, and so there was a van available, and Coach Crum and her husband at the time, car. So we made most of our road trips in the van and her car. And usually one of us girls drove the van, but that was the way we had to travel. And but we made a lot of fun, had a lot of fun on all those trips. And I remember the second year I played, we went to a tournament in Houston, and I can't remember the name of that tournament, but we won that tournament, and that was a big step up for the women's college basketball program here, I think. I was sort of a bench rider, six-man, type player, but at that point I wasn't starting all the time. But we had some great athletes on that team, and I got to play a lot with those, and it was quite a bit of fun. Those of you all that may not know the history of women's basketball, back in the day when I played, in high school we played six-man. 3 and 3 on each side. And when we came to the college, we played a position they called a rover position. And so 2 of the players, one from each side, roved, and we had two rovers. So we had 4 people on offense and 4 on defense on whatever end of the court the ball was on. So it was a kind of confusing format a little bit to begin with. And then the year after I graduated, they went to 5-man, which I decided was a good thing because I don't know that I could have been in shape enough to play 5-man like they do now. But anyway, it was quite a thing. Another couple of memories I have was the spades. Tournaments, or not tournaments, but spade game. We played spades every hour we were not in class. And we didn't have this big, nice facility here. We had a little room in what we call the Student Union Building, and I'm not even sure now, maybe Bob Guess, one of my classmates, can tell me. It's one of those buildings over there, and we had a little section in there, and there was always a spade game going on in there. And we always felt like we got our degree. If we didn't get our AA, we at least got our degree in spades when we left here that year. Another special event that happened while I was here attending school was the 100th anniversary of the college. And I remember the students and the faculty, the men all went into a beard growing contest, and that was quite a sight to see. I'll always remember Stan Thomas won that. I will never forget that as long as I live. He won the beard growing contest, but we had a lot of activities going on that year, and it was very, very nice. I think that in and of itself, that we're about to celebrate the 150th anniversary of this organization, this facility, is amazing. I think we're one of the few community colleges in the country that have a history that long, and I think that in and of itself is amazing. And as I was visiting with the people over at the reception earlier, saw a lot of people I knew, a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time. And it was just great to know that we all have this in common of this college and what we did here, and the friends we made here, and the memories we all made here. I developed many lifelong friendships from this university, and I certainly think that the foundation that I received here helped me to succeed in life and in my career with the Postal Service. And I think my being honored is so humbling to me, but I think it maybe shows the range of things that this college provides, because we have people that leave here and go like Jake Arrieta does and go to pro sports and becoming famous around the world. We had Speaker Jim Wright, who graduated here and made a name for himself nationally. And we have people like myself who maybe didn't go past here, but I think this college provided what I needed for my life. And I think it helped me have a successful life. My poor husband followed me all over the state with basketball games before we were married. Didn't even like basketball, and he used to go follow me around. But I just think that particular thing shows what a gem we have in this college. And I hope that we all strive to keep it here, because it does provide such a service and feel such a need for our community here. And once again, thank you all very, very much, and I'm very humbled. Thank you.
Now, Jenny, don't do like Jack Frost did. Jack Frost, that's his real name. Did y'all know Jack Frost? Superintendent down in Georgetown for many years. He got his award and he set it down and it fell off and it shattered in a million pieces. So he had it for about 1 minute. So anyway, congratulations, Jenny. Thank you for those nice comments.